Okay. This demonstration is really to just give you an introduction to the stock market and to watching stocks and to purchasing stocks and like that. This is not intended to be a fully in-depth demonstration. Obviously, I couldn't do that. And indeed, I am not a stock professional. I am in technology. Okay. But I did find that, and have been watching the stock market for about a year or so at sharebuilder.com, the site that you see on my screen. Um, you are able to get into the market for free. Okay. There's another site that you can download on your mobile device called Acorns, and Acorns will allow you to use your spare change and invest and get into the stock market and like that. I'll do another tutorial on Acorn at another time. But today, I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on Sharebuilder and the ability to watch stocks, watch bonds, watch these different things, determine or at least guess at what they're going to do. So in historically, you've not been able to use the knowledge that you have acquired as it relates to the European. It's been useless information, cluttering your mind. Today, you actually can in a number of different applications. This is just one demonstration, the stock market. What I want to do is I want to demystify all of those things that are happening in this world around us, that they would hold over us as mysteries, those things we can't understand, that we can't comprehend and we can't take advantage of. I would like to shatter those walls and demystify those things. We can take advantage of it. In fact, it has been demonstrated in history, anytime we throw our hat into any arena, we obliterate that arena. So the truth is, I need my people to start looking at these things that we have traditionally been held out of. What are the things that your father didn't do? What are the things that your parents didn't do that are being done today that are creating transgenerational wealth for others? The stock market is one of them. Okay. So initially, I want you to go to sharebuilder.com and open an account. Okay. And I'm going to just open up an individual account for general investing. Okay. If you do have any of these traditional IRAs or Roths, you can roll them over. My suggestion is simply do an individual account. And what I did was I opened my account and I furthermore placed money into that account that I was intended to use. My money sat there for about a year without my touching it. Okay, I'd never touched my money. I didn't make any purchases. I watched the market, and from there, I finally made a purchase about 7 days ago. The 7 days ago, I made a purchase for hemp with the symbol of hemp, HEMP, and marijuana, MJNA. I made those purchases 7 days ago. The market last week was tanking. All of the stock exchange was tanking. It was in a bad place. We're talking, this is 10/23, 2014. The market was tanking last week in a big way. Okay. So I purchased that stock in a bad time in a bull market. It's 10/23/2014. This is a bull market that we're in. This is not a time when people buy stock or make any money. That stock rose up by this morning to 132%, and we sold it at that point. Okay. So nobody made money in the market. And the stock that I'm talking about, the MJNA and the hemp, are both fractions of a penny stock. They're not even a penny. Okay. But the fact that we bought 7,000 shares of it, 10,000 shares of it, means that when it rose up 132%, the fact that we spent $200 means that we doubled our money in 5 days. Okay, so you can do this. This can be done with a little bit of attention to detail, with a little bit of watching the way that this market is moving. Then you can get into the market and take bits and pieces. Now, what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that the amount. Look at that. That's very nice. You can chat and they will help you out. But you want to make sure that the amount that you gain is enough such that the cost of your transaction, so they charge you $6.97 per transaction, and when you're dealing with penny stocks, they do a couple of other different things. So it ends up they take about $27 for a transaction. If you're not making $27 in profit, then it doesn't make sense to make the trade, right? You're just spending money to be in the game. That's not what you want to do. Okay, so you want to be very careful about what you're doing. So you're going to populate all of your information, okay, and go next. It's probably going to ask you about bank account information after that, right? The account details, and then from there your account will be open. Okay. Once your account is open, you can then start to look around at the trades and what's available. Okay. So now I'm going to go back. I'm not going to actually sign up for an account. And I'm going to start looking at some of the various trades that are available. Oh, it needs me to log in. Okay, so I'll sign in. And let's look at, well, what I would like to do is really just show you, here we go, show you some of the symbols. Okay, so the stock that I purchased was MJNA, okay, medical marijuana. The reason I purchased medical marijuana is because I know that medical marijuana, marijuana has been decriminalized throughout the United States of America, and the pharmaceutical companies as well as food distributors are anxiously awaiting to get into the game and start to distribute some of these marijuana products. Okay, so based on that, the legislation is not really caught up. So they're out there, they're building, they're working on it. Look at the news that's going on. They're working on it, but the law has not caught up with it yet. Okay? So once the law catches up and it legislates how these edibles can be distributed and all of the ins and outs as it relates to those medical marijuana products, then they're going to hit the market in a big way. Colorado is already huge with these candies and these different applications for medical marijuana. So eventually it's going to take off, and it is going to absolutely be like Microsoft when they first got DOS. It's going to be a powerful stock. So what I like to do is I like to look at a given stock. Okay, so I've created a watch list. I will take information from anywhere that I can. CNBC Money. I will watch those shows where you have those analysts. Now, a lot of them are just, blowing smoke. And a big percentage of the market, again, the market is dictated by individuals, by social norms. When people get nervous about Ebola, they start to take their money out of the market. When people get excited about Apple, they start to put money into the market. So the market fluctuations are based on people and what they do, what they think, how they feel. This is why I say you can use the information that has been trapped in your mind that is useless heretofore in earning your money. One of the easiest things that you could do, one of the most stable and easiest stocks that you could possibly purchase is probably ammunition, right? Those who make manufacture ammunition, when they get scared, what are they going to do? They're going to buy ammo. When they get happy, what are they going to do? They're going to buy ammo. Ammo is always going to be a very safe bet. Okay, it's not going to be a big, you're not going to see the big jumps like the marijuana did. You're not going to see. My expectation is, and I've got money in the marijuana stocks right now. My expectation is that the marijuana stocks will, in a year from now, be 2,500% over what I purchased them at easily, easily. Okay, the marijuana stocks are going to be up with the Tesla and like that. So what you're going to do is you want to watch those various shows, CNBC Money. You want to watch and do research on the web. When you see a product, when they're talking about it on the news, when you're hearing about it, do a search. Look up its stock symbol. Okay, and then when you get its stock symbol, bring it into Sharebuilder and start to look at it. Okay, so this is Green Mountain Coffee. Okay. I know based on their business that they so at one point they had a monopoly on those little K cups, but they lost that, and everybody was now able to make them, and so they lost a lot of their market share. So what they had to do was they had to try to rebound and come up with another product or make stand their product aside from the rest somehow. And they've successfully done that. At this point, they're looking for $145 a share on Green Mountain. That's a good stock. It is not so. If you look at it, this is over the last 5 days. So if you bought this stock 5 days ago at $135, you made $10. You made $10 per share. Okay. So at $10 per share, if you were to buy 2 or 3 shares of that, right? $10 per share is not worth the cost of your transaction. Okay. So while you see companies that are out there that are absolutely amazing, Tesla, great stock, very expensive. Look at that, $234 a share, right? Now, if you'd bought at this low point, which was about 231, right? This low point was about 231. It's modestly going back up. The market has just rebounded from that last week's hit. And so it's modestly going back up. It's going back up to 234. So this is a 3-day. If we look at a 5-day, okay, we see volatility in the market. So we're going to go and look at a 1 month. Okay. So this is down 6.63 over the last month. Okay. What we want to do is try to find the median. What's the normal place for this stock? What's normal? Okay. Their high point was 280, and that was back in September. Okay. So that wasn't that was not that long ago where their high point. If we expand that back to a year, we see that Tesla stock is steadily increasing. It's got dips, but what you can do is you can look back over the year and see that their high point was at 280. They haven't hit that in a while. Okay. They haven't hit that in a while. Right now they're at about 220, right? 225 at that point, 230. Okay. What is the likelihood that they're going to hit 280 in the next few days? Probably not. Probably not. They may increase again with the market rebound. There will be some abnormal fluctuation. There will be some abnormal highs to some of these guys. But again, buying an individual share of that is going to gain you what? $40 maybe. Okay. Is that 280 going to suddenly go off the charts and gain you a lot more money? Probably not. So while a lot of analysts and a lot of people will tell you that you should stay away from the penny stocks, I tend to like them because, again, this is where you're going to be able to get the greatest amount of movement. If you've got 10,000 shares of a stock that's worth less than a penny, and something happens in the market, and those shares go up 100%, and so now they're at 1 cent. Well, what you just did was turn $10,000 into $20,000. Okay, so the pennies make dollars. It's just really a matter of how you look at this and how you plan. Now, when you see a stock that you like and you want to track it, add that to your watch list. Add that to your watch list and set alerts so that you can see when it moves, right? What kind of movement it makes. So we're going to go ahead and set an alert. I want to know when Tesla reaches 280. The page seems to be kind of slow. So I just recently divested of marijuana and hemp as I watched them begin to tax. I'm seeing an error on that page. Yeah, that's already on my watch list, so I'm not going to add it. But this is what you'll do: is you'll go ahead and look up stock symbols, and based on those stock symbols, let's look at the company, figure out what they're doing. Diversified Holding, ACCA. Okay, let's look at what they are. Chart currently unavailable. They are probably about to be delisted. Right? They'll probably come off of the market. But basically, what you want to do is you want to find companies that you think are going to be doing amazing things. There was a company that I saw that builds, well, and at this point in history, I'm kind of focused on the marijuana, okay, on the hemp, because these are products that are emerging. These are, you know what, solar and photovoltaics, this stuff is here, right? Um, but it's not an emerging market. It's been here for 20 years. Hemp and the decriminalization of hemp and marijuana is now. That is new. This is the stuff that's going to make you money in a go forward capacity. Okay. It's a little risky because again, they're penny stocks and we don't know what's going to happen with the market. Okay. But if you do your research, if you look at those, the activity in the market and what things are doing and how they're moving, and look at the 3 day, the 5 day, you'll see trends. And then based on those trends, right? Based on those trends, you can see whether or not, hey, you know what? Will I be able to make money on this? Now look at Bank of America. Bank of America is at $16.68 a share. We've got a 1.68% increase. Okay. It's a minus 5.4 decrease since I watched it. Had I bought at this point right here, now this is market open today at 16.40, I would have only made 20 cents. Okay. But it is increasing. Let's scan back and see what their high point is over the year. Their high point has only been 17. Okay. So what am I going to make on that? Not much, right? I'm not going to make much on a short term on a Bank of America stock. Okay. And that's the kind of analysis that you want to do. You want to look at these stocks and try to determine, what do you think they're going to do? How are they going to move based on, their activity, not only today, not only in the last 5 days, but in the last year. What was the high point that they hit? Alibaba. Alibaba took a hit in last week's market, and as you see, they dipped down. They dipped down to about. So this is a 3 day. Last week, I saw them dip down to about $88. There you go, right there, $88. Okay. So what does that mean? If you had, a good, again, it's a game of numbers. If you had 100 shares, right? Well, now from 88 to 93, you've made a fair penny. You've made a good penny. But if you were to buy it right now, what could you expect to make? Right? On a 3 day, and we look at a 1 day. We look at a 1 day movement from 93. It's moved up to 93.50. If you were to buy this stock, you could probably wait a month and you're only going to make and lose pennies. It's not going to be anything appreciable. It won't be appreciable. What you want to do, and again, you want to be very careful, because what I'm describing to you is the edge of risk. As you see, hemp is now tanking. I did great with it, bringing it up to 132%. I did great. But look at it now. It's tanking. If I didn't watch it and if I didn't get out in time, then all I would do is watch my profits disappearing until the point where it is no longer dipping into my, it's no longer profit. My capital that I put in. Okay. And I left money in hemp just to watch it, because again, a year from now, that is going to be worth gold. Okay. So this is a brief tutorial. You can do research on your various stocks and ETFs, and you can see what's going on in the market as it relates to the various types of funds and bonds that you'd like to purchase. Okay, you can look into commodities, you can look into metals. Okay, and you can see what kind of things that are, what are happening in the market, and make decisions based. Ooh, I should have showed you the other. But initially, again, this is just a very brief tutorial. And in this tutorial, I wanted to show you how to come in, how to look in there, manage your watch lists, create a couple of watch lists. I created day traded and penny stocks. So on your front screen, you're going to see a bunch of information. Start to build a watch list. Start to do searches for symbols and see What products are out there that you think are going to be big players? It's not about anyone else but you. What do you think is going to be a big player in the market? Research that stock, watch that stock, see what they do, see what affects that stock, what goes up and what goes down, right? And then after you've gotten comfortable with what's happening in there and how much you're paying for a transaction and like that, go ahead and buy something. Put $100 into Sharebuilder, and after you've watched and taken close notice, buy something. Okay. There is a group that we have built. It is called ASE, African Stock Exchange. You cannot find this group on Facebook. It is invisible. However, if you reach out to me, my name is Peter Brown, right? You can find me on Facebook. If you reach out to me, I'll add you to the ASE group. The logic behind the ASE group is this. It is a group of people that believe that if we take and pool $10 a week, each of us, $10 a week, even in a crowdfunding capacity, a nominal amount that is not going to kill you. Okay? If we were to do that, currently we've got about 38 people, that's $380 a week. Okay, that at the end of each quarter, that is a handsome ransom. That is a nice sum whereby we can invest together. We can do many different things, but these small little $10 um, inputs from each of us is what's going to give us leverage. We can do things. We can buy land. And so I'll say African Stock Exchange is primarily based on trying to take that money and increase it, right? Trying to take the cost of a coffee of every week and turn that into something real. Okay, so feel free, reach out, try to join ASE. Again, and I'm going to continue to create some tutorials that I think might be helpful. If you got any if you have any suggestions related to what you might like to see or what I should cover, absolutely feel free. I'm going to drop this on the YouTube page so that you can, in fact, access it on a regular basis. All right? Been my pleasure. I'm going to try to bring some more helpful and insightful tips to you. Again, we need to change the level of our conversation. We need to proliferate our conversation with these disciplines that we have traditionally been held out of. Okay, we need to make changes. The tools and the conversations that some of our heroes in the past have had have been beautiful. They have been wonderfully teaching. However, the tools that Marcus Garvey used and the tools that Malcolm X used are not appropriate for 2014. We need to develop and move forward on our new initiatives on the same agenda to get to where we need to go. But I instruct you and I suggest that we use some of these current tools to get there. Okay? I'll bring you some more videos very shortly. All right. Have a wonderful day.